Radiant team ban.
Alright folks, here we are, and today what we're going to do is cover the SteelSeries Dota 2 Open, sponsored by SteelSeries, as I said, and Merlini. So they're doing the sponsorship. The venue is the Ignite Gaming Lounge, so if you are in the Midwest, or really at this point probably the Chicagoland area, I think if you're out in somewhere like St. Louis, it's a little too late to travel over, but if you are in Chicago or in the Chicagoland area, you can come check that out at the Ignite Gaming Lounge. In between games, you can see on my overlay on the stream, you'll be able to check out some information about, address, the venue, all that good stuff. So you can come check this out live. Otherwise, if you stay on the stream, I will be covering pretty much the entire event today. The format is a double elimination bracket, best of one, and I'll show you the bracket between games. Actually, let's pop over to the bracket right now so we can just get a little bit of an introduction to what's actually going on. So, let's take a look here. We have the teams arrayed in a single elimination bracket. You can see that the game we're about to cover is this one, Altered State versus 2HU. Winner of that will play the winner of Unicorn Justice and Ignition. Then in the lower half of the bracket, we do have Please Gank Shibi versus What's the Roche Time, which is a pretty good team name. I like this team name. And then Ice Cream City against D0-2. So, as you can see, it's double elim. Losers of these brackets will drop to sort of games J and K here, and then you have a normal double elimination bracket processing on from there, up until the grand final, which will be best of three. So the finals, best of three, everything else, best of one. We'll be covering that all day today. Some of the games will be run concurrently, so we won't catch every single game on the stream here, but we'll try to bounce around, catch every team at least once, to the best of my ability to do that. So, let's go back to the game. Let me actually take down some of these, I'll put those up a little bit later. So, 2HU versus Altered State. I did a little bit of research, and by research I mean mostly Dota buff stalking on these teams before the games. And 2HU, a team with some pretty good players. Both these teams actually pretty solid public players. I have not seen any of the players in these games in a previous tournament. So I've done a little bit of coverage of amateur scene, North American and South American tournaments. Have not come across these teams. I'm sure if I was better versed in the American Dota scene, I probably would have, more to say. But I picked this game. I was one of the first to actually get a full roster for both teams. Also, the win rates, at least in public games, of the players in both teams are fairly similar. So I think we could get a pretty good game. Let's go up into the draft. Done with the intro. We have a pretty standard draft coming through so far, both in the realm of the bans and the picks. No surprises yet. Of course, the current drafting system of the 2-2-1 in Captain's Mode does afford you the ability to take more surprising picks later. And here we have the first somewhat surprising choice, 2HU going for the Faceless Void. So what this signals basically is a wow, and Altered State responds with a Spectre. So both teams going for carries regarded as fairly late game. Spectre was at some point regarded as the premier late game carry, but recently she's been played as more of a early late game. You pick items on her like phase boots, like drums, that give you some measure of early usefulness, so that you're not just you don't just tail off completely. So with Spectre, Ancient Apparition as their fourth pick and Nature's Prophet, Altered State's strategy becomes very clear, and it's a fun strategy that they're deploying. Basically, what Altered State are going for here is the global lineup. So, almost as sort of a tribute to, actually, if they go with the Zeus. So, no Zeus ban. We have Triad Protector and Warlock, the last two bans out. I would expect almost certainly that we are going to see a Zeus for the last pick here, because what they can do is run the Nature's Prophet as the solo lane, the Spectre, Shadow Demon, Ancient Apparition, tri-lane, safe lane, and then a Zeus in the middle. And then, of course, it'll be the perfect tribute, as Merlini is one of the organizers of this event. He's actually there. If you want to meet Merlini, you should go over to the Ignite Gaming Lounge. He, of course, part of the reason why he's well known as a Dota player is his popularization of the global strategy as part of MYM, which was focused around these global heroes working together to just blow the other team up. So, when you have Nature's Prophet, Spectre, possibly Zeus and Ancient Apparition, all four of whom have tremendous global presence, you can generally just blow up the other team. That said, it's fragile, it's level dependent. We saw in Starladder a couple days ago, or maybe even yesterday, the Belarusian team Power Rangers attempted a strategy similar to this, and it kind of fell apart when they couldn't find the levels for all of their players. 2HU finishes off with a Kunkka, so that provides their... Yep, it's Zeus. So it's completely a Merlini tribute. The Merlini tribute team here. Spectre, Ancient App, Zeus, Nature's Prophet. We'll have to keep paying attention in this tournament to see if more teams go this global strat than usual. But it is pretty viable. Spectre has been gaining popularity recently. Nature's Prophet, of course, a perennial competitor on the scene, and Ancient Apparition and Zeus both have received some buffs. Zeus has become a little more viable, and people have started running him in the mid, and of course, what a player. A little bit of NA Dota talk going on already. And then Ancient Apparition, of course, received a major Aghanims buff, which he may have difficulty getting from the support position, but I do like this. So, Altered State facing on the Radiant. We do have Novocaine on the Nature's Prophet, most likely in the offlane, although Shadow Demon appears to be heading top as well, probably just to ward. That'll be Victoria's Secret on the Shadow Demon, and V-Carbs on the Ancient Apparition, supporting Ian on the Spectre, which leaves, I think I just missed their mid player, I'm Famous on the Zeus. Let's look up towards the Dire team, 2HU. In the middle, they're running as Kunkka, No Sex Before Marriage 420, which is a great name. Definitely not a name purely intended for the stream. I like their, these banners and logo are actually fairly excellent. As is, I didn't comment on this, but their team banner in the draft screen was also pretty high quality. So, I'm trying to decide what I want to call this guy. We're going to call him Marriage. And then in the off lane, Yukari Akumo on the Darkseer, which leaves the safe lane Trilane, 2-throw on the Faceless Void, Miku, I assume of Have Some Fun with Miku fame on the Rubik, and then Boner 8. Possibly a reference to Kaipi player Bone 7? Possibly. Anyway, he's on the Jakiro. So things to look out for this game. We have to see if 2HU actually find their levels, for one. Let me turn the sponsor logos back on. Let's see if 2HU are able to get levels, particularly for Ancient Apparition, who's in this support position. We do have the Magic Bush blocking ward coming out from 2HU here, so it's going to be extremely important for Altered State to actually be able to pull these two camps to try to get Shadow Demon and Ancient Apparition some levels. So are they carrying sentries? Yes, Ancient App has a sentry. The downside of this Magic Bush placement, the upside is it blocks this camp and this camp. The downside, of course, is that it is very spottable. It's one of the easiest, most famous spots, so almost always you'll see teams dewarding it. So I would expect that one of these sentries will be used to deward that Magic Bush blocker pretty quickly, giving Altered State the opportunity to pull in there. Then, looking up towards the other lanes, Novocaine does not start out in the jungle in this Nature's Prophet. Maybe he feels that, I mean, Faceless Void early on, his damage is nothing special. He hasn't really been pooled anything. In fact, he's holding 368. This is a surprising amount of gold to not spend early. My suspicion is that this means that he'll go for early Midas to just get his farm up faster than the Spectre can possibly farm. Spectre, I would doubt he would actually go for the Midas. I think it's much more likely that they commit to this global lineup and actually just go for a good solid position that actually let the Spectre teleport in and do her work to finish off those kills. In the middle, it's an interesting matchup. Kunkka and Zeus, two heroes that used to never be picked, basically, and then both gaining some prominence at the same time. Zeus, much more popular in the sort of North American, European scene. He's never used really by Asian teams, Chinese teams, whereas Kunkka actually began as sort of a joke pick for Q-Pad for Sing Sing, and then really percolated over, and now Chinese teams use him all the time, and he's moved back west, so both of these picks becoming more and more popular. This lane, I would say, is slightly favored for Kunkka. It's difficult for Zeus to actually chew through all of his health, and Kunkka gets free pure damage harassment on the low HP Zeus in the form of his Tidebringer. So, as you can see, that's kind of playing out already. I'm Famous having a little bit of trouble last hitting. He has only 4 last hits, 0 denies. Kunkka, meanwhile, having 11 for 4. In a much better shape, really. Zeus, not the most item-dependent hero, but I'm sure they want Aghanim Scepter. Most likely, they're going to rush the Aghanim Scepter up for Zeus, possibly even rush it up for the Ancient Apparition if they can find some of it. Wow, interestingly enough, they actually did not deward this Magic Bush, so 2HU will be able to successfully, A, block this to make sure that the levels don't get there for Darkseer. They do have a disruption. Soulcatcher gets thrown in. I think Darkseer walks away from this fairly safely. Still level 1, so they've denied him quite a bit of XP. Yukari probably needs to decide if he wants to stay in this lane or if he wants to leave, because if he's just going to stick... be stuck at level 1 forever. He's going to end up way behind where the Nature's Prophet is going to be after a while. Speaking of Nature's Prophet, let's take a look. Novocaine still in this lane. He actually has level 2. So both solo laners not really able to approach the lane that well. I feel like Yukari has a better shot, but taking this Ion Shell first means that, yeah, he walks very, very slowly. So he's got a... Actually, they picked off the Courier as well. I'm sorry for missing that. That was actually a teleport from Novocaine to pick off the Courier. It was still ground. And that's very, very nice. That's a good pickup for Altered State this early. Getting the Courier means that they, A, get 175 gold for every single one of the players. In fact, if we look at the graph, that'll give them a comfy little bit of a lead. Like, you can see they were falling behind, and then they jump all the way up. So, good kill for 2HU. Meanwhile, in the middle, Marriage actually getting brought down very, very low just by chained hits from I'm Famous. Now that he has the bottle, he's getting enough mana to just consistently harass the Kunkka, and he has a bottle as well, but because of the lack of Courier, this Courier snipe actually made it so that Marriage is now going to struggle very heavily in this lane. We talked about how he has an advantage. Not without a Courier he doesn't, because he simply does not have the regen to sustain against the Zeus. Meanwhile, Flying Courier pickup, but that's going to be completely useless. They might as well frankly sell it and buy it again later, but... A little bit of a push coming out from 2HU here. They're going to pressure this tier 1 tower. They could probably get it. I doubt anybody comes to defend. I'm Famous rotating, just going to secure the rune for himself. You're going to still see Marriage kind of struggle here. Flying Courier as well for Radiant. They actually, you know, can use it. Novocaine just sitting back here getting some XP. Maybe he goes for the tower deny here. He doesn't have to worry about Chronosphere. The Void is still level 4. In fact, let's take a quick little level check. Darkseer really struggling for 2HU. They probably want him to be above level 2. If you take Ion Shell first at Darkseer, it's sometimes a better idea to just start yourself off in the jungle. Zeus rotating over, going for a first blood. Bone 8, we'll call him, uses his healing salve, gets away. Nice lift from the Rubik. And so Zeus unable to secure the kill. What he does secure is the opportunity to deny this tower. So 2HU basically consistently building a gold advantage so far. A, with the Courier snipe, which of course gets 175 gold to all of your team. B, with the fact that they were able to get that deny. So obviously they haven't brought any towers down on the side of... Sorry, I should say Altered State getting a gold advantage early. They haven't brought any towers down on the side of 2HU just yet. But once they do, as long as 2HU doesn't manage to deny it, they'll have an advantage. The Courier comes back up for 2HU, so they'll be able to deliver. The bottle is the most important thing in the short term, but soon the Midas will be complete for Faceless Void. You can see he went for those Gloves of Haste. This is why he got gold early. Oh, Yukari in a lot of trouble here, and he's down. The Cold Feet enough to actually just positioning very, very good. They trap him on his way to the shop. He comes in here. Ancient Apparition comes around here. Shadow Demon Spectre, and no way for the Darkseer to get away, unfortunately. So that's a quick death. Not quite at his soul ring just yet, and the first kill does go to Altered State. That gives them a Courier, a First Blood, and a Tower Deny, putting them in very good shape early on in this game. Alright, looks like we're getting an unpause. Bone 8 actually rotating over. Going to try to put a little more pressure on this Zeus. This lane should be okay for Kunkka now, because they are just... Now that he has Bottle, he can heal up the harassment, so it's okay, honestly. But Altered State, if we actually look at the farm, both Void and Spectre farming fairly quickly. Void, of course, going straight for that Midas, so he's going to have a little bit less. He's trading early game effectiveness for a higher peak later. Whereas Spectre, we said that we doubted that she was going to go Midas, and yeah, she's not. She's gone the face boots. I would probably expect the drums to be added on as well. This gives her a surprising amount of presence for how hard a carry she's considered to be. And it'll actually let her... Oh man, trouble for Marriage here. No, not quite enough mana. Wow, what a nice Ice Path. Clips the edge onto I'm Famous. He gets away. Kunkka doesn't really want to follow it up. This is actually a level 2 Ice Path, so they can Tor in response to this and maybe get a kill on the Zeus if they continue pressuring him. You can see the concern that 2HU feel for this Zeus by putting 2 players here rather than 1. This is now basically a permanent double lane. Even Miku coming over, trying to make something happen with the Rubik. He has just enough mana for a Telekinesis. A Telekinesis Ice Path chain would unquestionably mean the death of Zeus, because it means you can land a Torrent as well. They're going to try another clip Ice Path. The Ice Path will miss. Here comes Telekinesis, possibly. The Jakiro Dual Breath is slow. There's the Tidebringer. I don't think they'll catch up. No boots on the Rubik, no. They don't quite get it. Actually, Jakiro, he's going to die to the tower damage. Yes! I am famous. Nice arc lightning at the end. There actually clips him. Here's the ice vortex. Cold feet. A little bit of damage getting thrown out on Marriage. He uses his magic wand to save himself back up. Okay, they use the mana for the Rubik to telekinesis defensively, because that could have gone from bad to worse there, frankly. The Kunkka does not die. They use the healing salve from Rubik to heal him back up, and he's okay, but 2HU, they're having a little bit of an early game deficit. The good news, 2-Throw has already used his Midas once, 40 seconds until his next usage. We'll probably see this Void becoming more and more of a factor. He decides to come mid. They really want to make something happen, especially against this Zeus. They seem really concerned about the fact that the Zeus is going to have a snowballing effect, and so we actually see 2HU 5-manning. This is an interesting choice because I don't feel that Void is very effective yet. Well, okay. I mean, they are going for the tier 1 tower. It doesn't seem like Ultra Say will really be able to defend this that much. They actually can teleport. No ultimate yet for Spectre, actually, because of this early... Well, let's take a look at how this fight is developing. Actually, Zeus already picking off Faceless Void. Chronosphere not used, and 2HU just sort of in disarray, retreating from here. Not even needing the Spectre, she just picks up level 6. That was what I sort of felt that was going well for this Dire team. Because their creeps were not blocked, they were able to actually balance out the levels of the supports, spend a little bit of support leveling to get the Void leveled up quickly, but they lose that by having the Void die there. I think it was a little early to 5-man, especially with the Midas Faceless Void. Meanwhile, Ian leveling a little slower than the Faceless Void is, but he does, of course, have Haunt now. So the combo is coming into play. They have the Thunder God's Wrath, they have the Haunt, and Ancient Apparition almost level 5, so keep an eye out for that as well. Nature's Prophet, of course, 7, rushing for his own Midas. It'll come quite a bit, about 2 activations later than the Faceless Voids, but should be fine. Camera control not that impeccable for this game, by the way. I do have to apologize for that. I have not done primary casting in, I think, months. So I'm going to have to plead for y'all's clemency for at least a couple of games while I get my bearings a little bit. So, Kunkka actually, Marriage doing quite well in this lane after he was able to sort of, in the early phase, he was able to chase off Zeus very effectively, and that was definitely good for them. Ian just going back home here. He's got 1319. We're going to see what he builds towards next. I still expect it to be this Drums, frankly. Yeah, Marriage has to be very careful. He can take a ton of damage from I'm Famous here. And in fact, the boat is delayed, so you can just die before the boat even comes through to heal you. Novocaine, a little bit of trouble up here. They may use the Chronosphere for this. Ice Path misses again. They probably have to use the Chronosphere to secure this kill. The Sprout and the Chronosphere will kind of cancel themselves out. He still has a chance to escape, actually. Ice Path still 2 seconds. Will he get out? No. One last hit and Faceless Void gets his first kill of the game. Puts 2HU on the board, and that's an important kill. I mean, it'll move him towards his tier 2 boots, most likely. Don't know if he's going to go Mask of Madness for even more farm. I would expect the tier 2 boots. Trouble for Marriage here. I'm Famous wanted to chase, didn't quite get the range for the Lightning Bolt, and peels back intelligently as, of course, Bonate is rotating in to try to help out here. Yeah, it's the power treads for Void. Makes perfect sense. Ancient Apparition, I would still love for them to find some space for this guy to get some levels. In fact, a little bit of dual jungling with Shadow Demon and Ancient App wouldn't be amiss, I think. Victoria's Secret actually going for an interesting and somewhat unusual build on this Shadow Demon. He's gone the 3 in Soul Catcher, 1 in Poison, and 1 in the Disrupt. So this does increase the percentage damage they can deal, which, oh, there's the Zeus ultimate, there's the Spectre ultimate, they're chaining this up, where's the Wrath of Nature, so much damage getting thrown out on Marriage, here's Ian to clean it up, here's Novocaine, they're going to pick off Bonate, 2 kills on the board, maybe 3, Darkseer completely trapped, does not have the mana for Vacuum to get himself out of those trees, and yes, 3 kills on the board, MYM style, Altered States, starting off their tournament, starting off the Steel Series Dota 2 Open in effective and tribute fashion with a little bit of the old MYM global strat. I like it. It's stylish and it's working out quite well. Alright, so 2HU. That, I think, was sort of a wake-up call. If they didn't realize what exactly Altered State's game plan was before, they certainly do now. That fight also gets the Ancient Apparition V-Carbs his level 6, so you can see he picks up his Ice Blast. That'll make the next set of this combo even more effective. That said, 2HU have earned themselves a reprieve. They don't have the Spectre cooldown for another minute. The Wrath of Nature cooldown hasn't come up yet. Of course, the Zeus is on a cooldown as well. And none of these heroes are level 11 yet. In fact, nobody is level 11, so you don't have to worry about those level 2 ultimates. I also want to note, if we look at 2-Throw, he already has his backtrack level to 3. If Faceless Void is able to dodge 1 or even 2 aspects of the ult combo, That's actually fantastic. Faceless Void, even though they picked it before the combo made itself known, actually is one of the best heroes to face up against this combo, in my opinion, because he's one of the few heroes that can just dodge magic without having to have a BKB. He's going to use his Midas again just to continue getting ahead in levels. He's actually already a level ahead of Spectre, and as this Midas continues to come into play, you should see it improving. They do have the Zeus ultimate available. They don't have the Haunt, so this isn't quite enough. It's just enough to get 2HU to leap. The Ice Blast, here's the teleportation. Maybe Yukari on the Darkseid goes down here. Nice Torrent in response. 2HU may seek to fight, but they're very, very low. There's the Chronosphere. There's the boat. A little bit of combo on their own. The Spectre gets picked off. Maybe they can get Nature's Prophet as well. Nice damage getting thrown, but they're so incredibly low. The Spectre, Haunt, and Buyback already gets 2 kills. And 2 throw, most likely going to get locked down by that Cold Feet. Wow, this turned around in a jiffy. 2HU, they were so low, they thought that they could prosecute the fight, and they're chasing. Oh, that's the last kill. A triple kill for Zeus. A double kill for Spectre. Not... Oh, man. They thought that they could turn it around. They tossed the Chronosphere and the Ghost Ship. I thought maybe they could turn it around, but they were so low on health with that Zeus. I mean, he's got rank 4 Static Field, rank 4 Lightning Bolt. He chews through AoE HP so quickly, and they follow up. That was an inspired Spectre buyback, I have to say. The buyback and Haunt just instantaneously devastating 2HU's team. I wonder if he'll go Radiance now, just given how that went. Oh, man. Oh man, 2HU, that's gotta be painful if you're this team. They're actually now behind by about 3,000 gold. Not that dramatic yet. My bigger issue is actually the levels, because Zeus earned his level 2 ultimate off of that fight. Building towards Force Staff first, I really like this for the repositioning aspect, especially if you can, for instance, get away from Faceless Void. And after that, most likely we'll see him go the Aghanims. Ancient Apparition, meanwhile, looks to be going his Power Tread. So Ancient App, not that mana-intensive of a hero, and he's pretty slow, so you may not necessarily want to go with the Arcane Boots. You may want a little bit of tankability with the Power Treads. So, yeah, I like this. Also an interesting build for Ancient Apparition. This is all geared towards this combo. You can really tell that Altered State researched what they were planning to do and sort of worked it out. Check out, so the Soul Catcher, we were starting to talk about this earlier. This will help. Your entire combo is basically a ton of magic damage followed by Spectre, right? So if you have a high priority target like Faceless Void or like Kunkka, you can put the Soul Catcher on him, and then that'll make sure that he dies that combo very quickly. This is also what happens with the Ice Vortex. It's very rare that you actually see somebody maxing Ice Vortex first, but Ancient Apparition is doing it here because, again, it plays into this combo aspect, and it really lets Altered State kill whoever they want, whenever they want. There's the Zeus ultimate, actually. They're going to try to go for Marriage already. The Wrath of Nature coming through. One of the early bounces. They already get Rubik. Ice Blast. It will not clip Kunkka, but the Spectral Dagger will, and it secures the kill. 2 kills again for Spectre on the board. 5-1-7 the record. 6-0-7 for Zeus. And 2HU, I don't know at this point. It seems to be they really have to rely on the Void purely, and I'm not sure the Midas is going to get him up fast enough to actually contest this, because the nice thing about Nature's Prophet is that they can reconfigure these teamfights into an effective push. They have good push in the form of the Treants. They can just push with pretty much their entire team, and if 2HU try to contest it, the AoE damage is still incredible getting thrown out from Altered State. Let's take a look at the net worth. Spectre and Zeus actually topping the charts. Void is doing well for itself. It's, I mean, he's doing well, but considering he has Midas, the fact that he's behind on net worth relative to the Spectre, relative to the Zeus is not fantastic. Darkseer, meanwhile, he is getting his levels. Level 7 at 16 minutes, not great. Of course, he did make the decision to start off in the offlane rather than the jungle, and unfortunately, he could not find those offlane levels. I think maybe if you had seen Yukari actually start in the jungle, he could have been about level, I think, 9 by now, and maybe that would put them in a little better shape. By 9, you can usually take the first rank of your ultimate, and maybe that'll do something at least to help the situation. Of course, there's not that many strong stats right-clickers other than Spectre on this team, so the Darkseer wall wouldn't do all that much just yet. Midas finished for the Nature's Prophet. Very little in the way of items for this Prophet so far, but he has been able to just use this Wrath of Nature, and as soon as he gets up level 11, at least he'll have the level 2 ultimate, which the damage will be very, very substantial. Have to see if Nature's Prophet actually goes the Aghanim Scepter as well, because, you know, a combo.wombo. Marriage, meanwhile, fairly standard Kunkka approach here. He has the Bracer. We'll have to see if he goes the drums before the Shadow Blade. In my opinion, some tankability would not be remiss for 2HU either. If they get... Oh, no! This is not a good idea. So we have the Morbid Mask for 2-throw. I think this means, oh goodness, if he makes the Mask of Madness, it could backfire horribly, because if you Mask of Madness and you don't happen to backtrack successfully, here comes the Ice Blast, they're going to try to catch this Void, there it goes, here comes the combo, Spectre teleporting over, Void is trying to get away, they haven't teleported the Spectre to this location yet, here they go, Spectral Dagger, he's in so much trouble, the Ice Blast is going to kill him, it doesn't even matter, oh, the Ice Blast ended, he may actually escape, yes, to throw, he escapes, very nice job, what a player coming out from his teammate, that was very impressive as an escape. I really thought he was going to go down. Of course, Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, it's only 8 seconds at level 1. He's not level 11. He doesn't have that Aghanim Scepter. So, what an escape from Void, but the problem is, imagine if you had Mask of Madness activated there. He dies, right? Because he takes 30% extra damage, so he's going to have to be incredibly careful with how he uses this Mask of Madness. Like, exceedingly careful. Alright. Even though they didn't get the kill, Altered State want to follow up with a push. They are pushing it already. Look at how much damage this Zeus deals. I mean, my goodness. Here comes the Ice Blast. Probably kills the Chikiro. They do land it. That's an insta-kill. The Disruption actually interrupted the ability to get the Rubik. Novocaine coming in from the back. He's a little too far back, in my opinion. He gets stunned up. He's going to go down. The nice Void bashes there, as well as Kunkka play. Here's the Darkseer wall. Not quite enough just yet. A kill for Spectre already. The boat comes through. It doesn't hit anything. It does put the Coco's Rum up on the Kunkka. He's going to go for a Torrent. Right on top of himself, covering his retreat. He looks to be okay still. 3 on the ground again for 2HU. They've only managed to get 1 kill in the last several minutes, and they're just getting harried and pressed back into their base. It looks like Altered State may have to peel off. They really, they do have a Arcane Boots unused up on the Shadow Demon. There we go, but it's not quite enough to give the Zeus the sustain. Keep in mind that the Ancient Apparition didn't go the Arcane Boots either. So, they push 2HU back to their tier 2, and now we see Altered State. They're going to push it a little bit here as well. Kunkka just wants to get a little bit of free farm again. He doesn't have the greatest GPM just yet, only about 243. Really struggling, in fact, compared to the Zeus, and it's just been all these deaths, 3 deaths as a result of these crazy teamfights. Here comes Ice Blast again. Actually, Kunkka's in a lot of trouble. The Spectre is here. He teleports in. No, he doesn't. They just actually use the, not even feeling necessary to actually use the reality, just haunt for extra damage, and the Wrath of Nature comes through, picks off the Kunkka with the Ice Blast. This is the problem. As long as Altered State have good vision, and you can see they have the ward up here, they have a ward here. I would even like a ward over here, or maybe something here. Just get as much vision as humanly possible. I don't know what the deal is with these vertexes. Like, when you make a circle on the minimap, sometimes it just, like, automatically fills it in, and it's very strange. I think it's a little bit of extra geometry. So, 2HU, the Void is still your main hope. He's using his Hand of Midas on cooldown. You can see that his GPM is keeping up with Spectres. Void in a 1v1 fight can outcarry Spectre. I'm just incredibly concerned about the rest of the combo. I think they may need to go BKB for this. Oh god, the caution pings. Oh god, the caution pings. Those are terrible. Oh man, nice. The Force Staff just, it's almost like a Blink Dagger Zeus play here. It's just he jumps in and immediately deals a tremendous amount of damage, forcing Jakiro to flee. You can see he's gotten the Ghost Scepter as well. This is excellent when the only damage threat at this point. Oh, Zeus taking a lot of damage in the back here still. And Zeus, oh, wow, Zeus is just tearing into this Jakiro. Rubik stealing the Arc Lightning. It is rank 3, but I don't think this will make a difference because Rubik doesn't have, this Arc Lightning, when you steal it, doesn't have the static field. So without the static field, it's not... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Without the static field, it's just not nearly as actually effective. Here comes the Ice Blast, the ultimate already coming through. There's the Wrath of Nature and the Zeus ultimate. This will take care of the Darkseer. 2-throw in a lot of trouble as well, frankly. He's ticking down. It looks like he'll be okay. Oh no, Novocaine. There we go. The last tick of the Disruption. Oh, one more auto attack. Nice Torrent, but it's not enough to save him. He had already used his Time Walk. And of course, it's level 3, not level 4, so he didn't have the 2 seconds cooldown. There's the Macropyre. Dual Breath. I think they can trade for Nature's Prophet. Finally, a kill on the board for 2HU. It feels like it's been years. And that'll get Kunkka a little farther. He is going to finish off his drums off of that fight. But, ouch. In general, they are being bruised and battered. I'm not sure if they were ready to face up against the strength of this global strategy. Excellent Ice Path, but it's just forestalling the inevitable death of this Tier 2 tower. I do not think that 2HU are able to defend this. Oh, actually, Altered State deciding to peel off. I think this means Roshan. They did not end up going for drums. They felt that the development of the Spectre was too fast to bother. So they actually are finishing up Manta style, and he's got this casual vitality booster that will eventually be turned into a heart. So, Void, I don't know. It's troublesome. He has nothing really besides this Midas, which makes him less survivable, and this Midas. Did I say Midas twice? I did. Madness. He has a Madness and a Midas, and oh, Bone 80 gets caught out. Do they disrupt? No, they choose not to. Victoria's Secret interesting. He is building their mechanism, if they even need one, frankly. It's good against Kunkka, frankly, so it is good. Two throw, here we go. They may go for this Jakiro. They can't seem to decide. There's the ward. Oh, Torrent. Victoria's Secret easily getting picked off here. The Vac, the self-disruption actually defensively used just to waste time. And another kill for 2HU. They're going to need some of those if they want to drag their way back into the game, of course. They're only behind about 10k gold and 10k experience, which is, it's grim, don't get me wrong, but it could be a lot worse. They could be farther behind than they are. Two throw going to teleport to this lane, probably just get a little bit of extra farm. 2, 3, and 2, not the greatest record for a Void, but again, if there is hope for 2HU, oh, good, this is good. They need to counter ward this. Bring a ranged hero over. They do have a lot of melee, but I think Miku, yeah, they're going to de-ward this. It's incredibly important if you're 2HU to try to make sure that at least the Ancient Apparition doesn't know where you are, so he can't lead with the Ice Blast, because if you lead with Ice Blast and then follow with the other ultimates, you're guaranteed to kill. If you lead with the other ultimates and try to follow with the Ice Blast takes so long to actually develop that maybe the team dodges it and doesn't actually die. So whenever possible, Altered State want vision of 2HU so that they can land the Ice Blast and then follow up with the unconditional hitting ultimates. V-Carbs, by the way, is building towards that Aghanim Scepter. He's got the point booster. Zeus, I would expect to build the Ags as well, or maybe even Refresher first. But, of course, the Force Staff and the Ghost Scepter, much better early pickups for him. Looking up towards the rest of the items, still almost nothing for Novocaine. He is going Shadow Blade, which is kind of a shame. Shadow Blade, an excellent item for Nature's Prophet, especially for split pushing, but I would have loved to see the Aghanims just to commit to the Wombo combo a little more. I think they suspect that BKBs will start coming out. In fact, I really expect 2-throw. I don't know if it's going to be his next item or the item after that, but he has to build BKBs sooner or later. Because, again, the hope lies in Void being able to outcarry, and he can't do that if he's dead. Game is stabilizing a little bit. I think Altered State happy to use the advantage that they've built up to farm a little bit. So Nature's Prophet, of course, finishing the Shadow Blade. You see the Manta Style complete on Spectre. Probably the next item coming quickly as well. They actually have denied yet another tower, so that's 2 out of 3 denies that they've managed to get. And here we go. Up in the middle. There's the Spectre ultimate. The reality comes through. Lots of damage going through out. 2-throw. Finally gets the Chronosphere up. The boat will come through. It does stun Spectre, actually. They may turn this. They may turn this. Ian is locked down in the bash. He uses Manta Style. He gets picked off. They're very, very low again to HU, but they ran out of ultimates. Altered State do not have their remaining ultimates to clean this up. And Void on a sliver of health. 1 health. It's just the ghost ship damage. It's just the ghost ship that saved him. In fact, I would say that all 3 of these players were saved by that Kunkka ghost ship damage delay. What a fight, but actually 2HU, in my opinion, taking the balance of it, picking off the Spectre, getting, a Shadow Demon kill is whatever, but just being able to trade, get the other carry, and keep your carry alive with the power of that ghost ship, very important. And this is why I think those Aghanims are critical for Altered State. When you have a ghost ship coming through, a rank 2 ghost ship, it reduces the damage taken, what the heck is that? It's 50%, I believe. 50% less damage. Your ultimates will simply not chew through them, unless you have the ability to do more damage. So I really honestly think that the Aghanim Scepter is for Ancient Apparition, which he is building, for Nature's Prophet, which he's not building just yet, and for Zeus are going to be very, very important to actually be able to kill. Or kill Kunkka quickly. If you kill Kunkka first before he can boat, you're actually in pretty good shape. But that ghost ship is a difference maker, and it's a thing that 2HU can try to ride the high seas on towards not losing this game. Nature's Prophet, I think he gets away here. This reveals his Shadow Blade here, because they don't have detection, but now they'll get it. Kunkka, by the way, not opting for that damage build. He's going to go BKB. So I like this survivability. It'll also make sure that he's much more likely to actually put the ghost ship up. Novocaine doing a little bit of split pushing. We see him pressuring the top and now the bottom towers. He's going to try to push into this tier 2 while the rest of the team is in the middle. 2HU look to do a counterattack. They're grouping up here. They don't have smoke. 2-throw has a haste, but they're deciding not to go just yet. He, of course, finished those Maelstrom off of that last fight. Altered State are hanging around the Roche pit, weirdly enough, and there is vision of them. The Sentry Ward at least spots out V-Carps. This could be another fight. Here comes the ultimate. Wrath of Nature coming through. Here's the Ice Blast. It lands on one just on the Darkseer. 2-throw fighting. Cold Feet is up on him. This will stun him. He is not going to be able to get anything done. He actually gets picked up by the Shadow Demon Purge. The Ghost Ship comes through only on 2 or 3. The Spectre gets thrown back by the Telekinesis. Actually, maybe they should have thrown her forward. And 2HU forced to retreat again. This time, Sans Faceless Void with no kills. Godlike streak for I'm Famous. He is just getting these kills. That was actually the ultimate. He is still... No, he's not going to chase anymore, but... That was another bad fight for 2HU. Unfortunately, the boat did not come through nearly as well. It didn't protect the Faceless Void, and Faceless Void took a tremendous quantity of damage, just soaking up all that damage, getting the Soul Catcher on him, getting the Demonic Purge, and that was difficult. If he had backtracked something, maybe it would have worked, but with no backtracks, they lose another fight. Faceless Void, 4 deaths, he's wasting a lot of Midas time, and you can just see Spectre's net worth continuing to rise, now going towards Butterfly. Gunka, going to try to make something happen here. Marriage, standing by the little Purge portrait that they have as their logo. And 2HU in kind of dire straits at this point. Nature's Prophet, who started so slowly, now eclipsing Void and Net Worth simply as a fact of participating in this kill advantage. You can see the gold that was starting to tilt back towards... Oh man, are they going for an Ice Blast? They may try to go for the Void kill here. The Ice Blast clips him. Here comes Nature's Prophet with a Shadow Blade. He wants to duel. He's actually going to get completely bash locked. Void is going to blink in. He gets the easy kill on Nature's Prophet. The question is, does he pay for this with his life? The Ice Blast has already elapsed. He's using the Mask of Madness to lifesteal. He's already back up to almost full. Here comes Zeus. My god, this is a lot of damage, and Void is gone. It's like there wasn't a Void in the first place. Maybe they're going to go for... Zeus still not spending. Maybe they go for Veil, actually, just to take care of that Faceless Void so quickly. Veil may be the right choice here, frankly. Oh, meanwhile, Nature's Prophet managed to get pick off on Miku. The jungle is no longer safe for 2HU. They want to maybe make something happen, but Yukari's still under level, no survivability. He just has the cloak. Konka, nice vacuum on Novocaine, but they don't have vision. Bonate gets picked off. I'm Famous beyond godlike now. 10 in Ozus. He can get more. He has ultimate. He doesn't even need it. He does use it, though. Everyone down except for Marriage. The Konka retreating to the tier 3. There's the Spectral Dagger. Will they continue chasing? That would be ballsy. He goes Ethereal Blade. Oh my god. Okay. This is certainly something you can use against the Void. If he escapes that Chronosphere, he can completely nullify it by himself by Ethereal Blading the Void, making him unable to attack. Wow. Ballsy, and yet, the simple fact that this Zeus has almost 400 gold per minute, his net worth up in 10,500, means that he can afford things like Ethereal Blade, sometimes regarded as a joke item, but I'm actually really impressed by this choice. Nature's Prophet, meanwhile, going towards his Orchid Malevolence. I mean, this is all just... This is Altered State. He might get bash locked here, actually. 2-throw, dealing a tremendous amount of damage. This is the nice thing about the Mask of Madness. If you're safe, but he gets hit by the Ice Blast. Will they actually follow up with this? The Ice Blast already chewing through a decent amount of life. Ancient Apparition, not quite done with that Aghanim Scepter yet. That'll raise the duration from 9 to 17, but not enough to kill the Void, just enough to warn him off. Nice kill for Faceless Void. I think he's gotta go BKB. I'm not sure how much choice he has. V-Carbs. They are hunting in the jungle. He actually cancels his own TP. That was probably a misclick. Building out that Staff of Wizardry, he's only about 850 off from his own Aghanim Scepter. Miku, meanwhile, you really see these supports of 2HU struggling. They don't have the Mechanism or the Tier 2 boots, both of which the number 5 position player, Victoria's Secret, has on his Shadow Demon. Rubik doesn't have anything. Compare Rubik to Ancient App, who almost has an Aghanims, and you can just see the difficulty that 2HU are facing. That said, the net worth on 2HU supports is not that important. What matters is the net worth on Void, and he's doing okay. He probably needs to build BKB, which won't help him kill, but you saw his killing potential against Novocaine in that last duel. This Faceless Void can kill people, and Altered State have decided that their only danger is the Void. So instead of going this pure Aghanims that I thought that they'd go earlier, they don't care about the AoE. They know their AoE is enough to kill people like Rubik, people like Jakiro. What they care about is, can they kill Void? And to that effect, they've gone the Eth Blade and the Orchid Malevolence. And I honestly think with those tools, as long as they execute, the Altered State are going to have a hell of a time just beating through 2HU at all contexts. But they haven't high grounded yet, and while they haven't high grounded, you can't really give up if you're 2HU. You still have a shot. And you can see that they are now penned into their high ground. The problem here is that they can't really get Void Farm. This is the difficulty of facing up against the global strategy. Once they're ahead, it's not like they're a mobile ganking lineup. They are, in fact, a global ganking lineup. So there's no safe place on the map for you. If they push out, they're going to have to push out as 5. Roshan's still unclaimed, so 2HU, if they use a smoke, which I haven't seen either team use smoke at all yet this game. Let's see if their stock is... Yeah, both teams still with their full stock of smoke. I would consider, if I were 2HU, maybe trying to sneak a Roche. The problem is, of course, that if they spot you out with the global strategy, you die. But Altered State may feel confident that they can spot a Roshan attempt. We may see a fight developing here. There's the Ethereal Blade already. Wow, Bone drops like a rock. Here comes the turret. Ship coming through, but it'll only hit on 1 if that. They actually need to retreat from this. That ship was not good enough. The damage coming out, Vacuum will take up some Spectre Illusions, as well as the real Spectre, interestingly enough. 2-throw, bashing up on Novocaine. There, actually, the Nature's Prophet is down. They still have Chronosphere, so a reasonable trade, frankly. Jakiro for Nature's Prophet. 2HU can't fight this anymore, not without the boat, but that's okay. They got away. They got away, and they got a valuable kill. Novocaine, I gotta say, these 7 deaths on Nature's Prophet, he's playing a little hype, a little bit far away from his team, and it's led to some unnecessary deaths so far. Spectre, on the other hand, doing just fine. 10-2, and Zeus still with no deaths. 12-0 and 17. Participated in 29 out of the 32 kills for Altered State so far. Kunkka trying to build towards that BKB. I'm sure they don't want to engage until they can make some of these BKBs. I mean, he's only 150 away. 1 creep wave will do it. If he gets every last hit in this wave, which it looks like he will. Oh, he can't. He's leaving? Really? Oh, he leaves. He probably could have had time for 1 more Tidebreaker before getting out, but it's tough, obviously. They were chasing on him. Maybe he'll try to clear out this way. No, it's too far away. This wave is all the way down here. Alright, well, Kunkka, he's going to still save up. Aghanim Scepter complete for the Ancient Apparition. And if we look towards Faceless Void, still not spending, so maybe he wants to save Buyback. Buyback actually a pretty smart option here. Let's take a look at Buyback status, actually. Nature's Prophet's still on cooldown. He has the gold, I think, but not the cooldown. Yeah, he has the gold, but no cooldown. Spectre, not that much buyback up, actually. Darkseer, Kunkka, Void. So that's good. The defensive team is always the one that wants the buyback, not the team on offense. So it might be nice for Altered State to get buyback on Spectre, simply because Spectre, if she doesn't use her Haunt Reality, can buyback and Haunt. In fact, we saw that in the first definitive team fight of this game. Spectre died, used Haunt and Reality, and was immediately back in the fight, and picked up a double kill and helped Zeus get a triple. BKB done for Kunkka. He does choose to buy out for that. Probably the right choice, in fact. The more BKBs 2HU amasses, the better and more stable shape that they're in. And the more you'll start seeing Altered State maybe regret the fact that they haven't really made a concerted high ground attempt yet. But here's the Aghanim's Ancient Apparition Ultimate. It's going to hit on 4! Oh my god, the Zeus Ultimate comes through, and there's the Spectre. This is... And that might be game. That's the thing about hemming the other team on the high ground. You can land that Ice Blast on 4, immediately the Zeus, and goodbye 2HU's entire team. 4 out of 5 players going down. I think Void backtracked one of those hits, which we were talking about, but... My oh my, not quite over yet. Their respawn times are still fairly low. It's not that late in the game just yet, but you can see Altered State immediately going in, trying to get at least 2 tier 3s off of this. Oh, Yukari running away. Maybe the Ice Blast clips him. No, they don't get the Ice Blast. The follow-up does not happen. Zeus continues to hunt. This Ethereal Blade is so scary to face up against if you're 2HU, and they will at least take 1 set of racks. They're happy to do this. The entire team pressuring this. Ian just using his Manta Style Lucius for further press. There's the Chronosphere, an attempted response from 2-throw. Jakiro already getting picked off in the back, but 2-throw trying to lifesteal here. He's taking a ton of damage. Cold Feet is already up on him. He will go down. He actually drops way too quickly to actually make a difference. Ian is trapped in the middle of all of his illusions. They're trying to make something happen, but Zeus still with that Beyond God running. Spectre, too difficult to kill. Marriage forced to retreat with his Ghost Ship. Here's 2-throw. He bought back. Maybe he takes Spectre. This is a big kill. Spectre gets away. Oh man, that Talisman of Evasion paying off there. He managed to avoid 2 hits and thus not die. Novocaine just comes in to clean up. There's the Ice Blast. Probably he dies to Void here. I can't imagine he doesn't get bashed down. Yes, another kill for Faceless Void. They only get the melee rack, so that could have been worse, but definitely incredibly painful. Incredibly, incredibly painful. A buyback for Nature's Prophet and finishes his Orchid. Zeus now with the Shivas, so that'll give additional slow, additional AoE potential. They feel that they're not going to global snipe you from far away. They're going to global snipe you from right in your face, and the Shivas is going to be helpful for that. Another kill on Nature's Prophet. That is just... Nature's Prophet, I gotta say, has made some mistakes as far as dying here. That was a complete waste of a ton of gold, and the Midas usage, and buyback. So, Nature's Prophet is gone out. A little bit of a feed there, no offense, but Void has just been taking Nature's Prophet apart all game. A few lucky bashes, but just in general being in the right place at the right time and using that. So a kill on a level 19 Nature's Prophet, never something you mind having. If we look towards the levels, Void is actually 21, so he's topped the levels with all the Midas usages, with being able to stay alive longer than his team. Like, you can see he has 6 deaths, but he's tied for the least. Look towards the Jakiro and the Rubik to see people are really being punished. Here's the ultimate combo again. Zeus ultimate, Spectre ultimate. The Spectre is dealing tremendous damage. That Desolate really is, frankly, very, very strong. What an underrated ability that everybody hated, but it turns out to be really good. They don't have the Wrath of Nature, though, and so all they get is Miku. All they get is the Rubik. This lonely Rubik, level 9, still stuck at level 9 at 37 minutes. Pure and utter soy sauce for the opposing team, frankly. Oh, V-Carb's actually... Where did that pick off? Oh, he picks off Darkseer in the fountain. A little bit of long-distance fountain farming from V-Carbs here. This Ancient Apparition actually hasn't died either. 4-0-13. He's contributed quite a bit. But this is the story of a Zeus that got out of control and an unanswered global strat. There's the Shadow Demon Purge. BKB popped for marriage, but he's just going to get taken down by Spectre Auto Attack at this way. Nice gush, actually. Nice torrent, rather. This Ghost Ship goes through, doesn't actually land on the Spectre, but they may pick her off just with Chronosphere damage. There's the Ancient Apparition ultimate. Spectre pretty low, but 2-throw. He's going to get picked off by the end of the Ancient Apparition ultimate. That Ice Blast has been doing more and more work as this game has gone on, especially since it picked up the Aghanim Scepter. Rubik stole the Ice Blast. Can Miku stay alive? This is important. No, he can't. He gets Orchided and picked off from behind by Nature's Prophet. So the attempt to make the global strategy work against them, very, very short-lived. Yukari trying to make something happen, but I'm Famous is unassailable at this point. 13-0 and 28 on this Zeus. And they're going for the second set of racks. Void, buyback? No. 3 minutes left on it. Kunkka doesn't have the money. It's a second set of racks for Altered State here. Probably taking out the win. The rest of their team is low, but Spectre managed to escape that fight. The Butterfly doing so much work since she picked it up. 15-21. And that will be the second set of barracks. Not the megas just yet, and in fact, maybe 2HU can try. Yeah, they're talking about those dodges. Those dodges were huge. Those butterflies, it was so incredibly important to make sure that the Spectre lived through that fight, but Altered State taking advantage. This is the story of a team getting the advantage and taking the advantage. The Ice Blast will come through. Probably this picks off Kunkka. There's the hit. Yes, he's down. The Zeus ultimate. Oh man, the Spectral Dagger. They probably get Miku. Yet another kill for Spectre. Yukari goes down here. Bonate, he can't live. Godlike streak for Spectre. And I would expect 2HU probably to GG out. This is a friendly game, but this is starting to feel unfriendly to me. There's the GG. And Altered State with a very Merlini-esque approach of the MYM global strategy. Zeus, Ancient Apparition, Spectre, and Nature's Prophet. Our first game of the Steel Series Dota 2 Open comes to a close with style, with appropriate homage to where it's being organized. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. I'm Vikramond. You may have seen me on some other streams. I've streamed for Beyond the Summit, Star Ladder, the Premier League. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I also have a website, Vikromond.com, VYKROMOND. And thank you. Thanks for watching. We'll be back very, very soon. I don't know which game I'm going to cast next, but it'll be something interesting, hopefully. Peace.